Hey guys, Frankomatic here, and before we get started today, pretty sure most of you have already seen and or heard this, but Un of I've Played a Thing has decided to step away from doing the video thing. And as sort of a tribute to him, I'm going to play through Space Harrier, the NES port, which ain't a great port of Space Harrier, but it's serviceable. So, if you're watching this one's for you. And just take it as sort of a we're keeping the lights on for you if you decide to come back one day. But now, for the first and probably only time you'll hear me say this, welcome to the Fantasy Zone. Get ready. Now, I'm not particularly qualified to talk about Space Harrier because A, I'm terrible at it, and B, I didn't have a whole lot of time with it when I was a kid, so I don't know a whole lot about it. But, if you want to see a pretty good deep dive into Space Harrier and its sequels and spin-offs, go check out the Space Harrier and Friends series that Un did a while back. It is quite good and very informative. I will note that this NES port, while not great, actually does a pretty good job of trying to keep itself roughly the same as the arcade in terms of spawn patterns and whatnot, which you can see if you watch the two side by side. It's kind of neat. There is one main reason I wanted to show this off, though, and we'll get to that at the very end, when we get there eventually. Oh no, I game overed. Conveniently, there's a infinite use continue code. So we will get to the end. It might take a while, but we'll get there. Welp. But aside from that first bit of news there, I do want to use this video also to give you guys a quick update as to myself. Because as you have also probably noticed if you're here, it's been a while since I uploaded something. And that is mostly due to, well, the new normal is a bit draining. Getting up at 4:30 in the morning, getting home at like, or leaving at 6 o'clock, getting home at like 6 p.m. And then having to disinfect everything, because I'm incredibly paranoid. It doesn't leave me a lot of time to get things done. And leaves me fairly exhausted. Hence why this is not a update to the current ongoing thing that we're doing, and instead a one-off. I am planning to finish Twin Sins Odyssey. I just wanted to let you guys know that updates are going to be a little on the slow side for a while. They will be done as we can get them done, but Cess and I are both very tired all the time right now. Hopefully once we get back into the swing of things, we will be a little more able to get these things done. But stick around, we'll get there in the end. Can't believe I've game over twice in 2 levels. I mentioned I'm not very good at this. Everything is also very small on this port, which actually kind of makes judging the distances very difficult. I did practice this a little bit beforehand, I'm just that bad. But yeah, I ain't going anywhere quite yet. Updates will be slow in coming, but they will come, so if slow update speed is a problem. I totally understand. But if you want to stick around as you have been up to this point, I also would be fine with that. If things get to the point where I don't think I will be able to actually continue doing this, which I hope I don't, because this is one of the things I like to do for fun, I'll let you guys know more officially. But this is just a note that things are going to be slow for a while. Maybe once a week, maybe once every couple of weeks, depending on how bad it is for us. But will not be a complete stop. Oh no, I died to a mushroom. Anyways, enough news about myself and others. Let's talk a bit about this Port of Space Harrier. I would personally rate this a little better than the C64 port I did, in terms of accuracy only. The C64 version plays significantly better. And if you are from the United States and are now thinking, I didn't know there was a Nintendo port of Space Harrier at all, that's because it never left Japan. I also have my rewind key bound, because I don't know if the actual cartridge itself was this way, but the version I'm playing here is pretty crash-happy, especially later in. But you can usually rewind your way back out of it and it will fix itself. The tunnel stages kind of lose something, because they're not as fast as they should be, due to hardware limitations, I assume. So this does have one thing over the Sega Master System version, which is that it doesn't have those rather unpleasant-looking boxes around all the sprites. I would legit say that's the only thing this has over the Sega Master System port, though, and would recommend that you play that instead of this. The bad far outweighs the good in the comparisons there. This game is also missing a couple of bosses. It might just be... no, it's two. I remember now. I should have gotten some water before I started this, apparently. My throat is really bugging me. The bonus stages are still here, though. Ah, there we go. Got whatever was in my throat out of it. Alright, looking a little... very tiny in this version. It's also very difficult to figure out where you need to be to actually hit things in the perspective that this port uses. That might just be me, though. The sprite limit also not enjoying Araya's presence at all. The bosses that are missing are Ghidarni, the two-headed dragon, and the skeleton version of Ghidarni, whose name I don't remember. I also don't remember what stages they're on, or else you would be able to know what the replacement bosses were. I'm sure someone a bit more studied in Harrier lore will be able to provide that information in the comments. For anyone that cares. I like the way the missiles look in this version. They're like the one projectile that seems like they're basically correct. Here are these things. I don't actually know what these are called, but there's meant to be more of them simultaneously than this, but they chose to go this way, I think, because of sprite limits. It makes the boss real easy. I like the little flappy wings on these guys. I'm pretty sure that they are just static sprites in the arcade, but it's been a while. Rip. I kind of miss the voice clips, honestly. Although I will say that that little noise is actually a pretty decent approximation of the scream, without having to do actual voice synth. Oh my gosh. I should probably actually pay attention to what I'm doing here. And here we got these things, whatever they are. Again, this is meant to be a whole bunch of them all at once, but limitations of the hardware. If you loop with them, the shots usually won't hit you. Not always, though. Alright. Took 8 stages, but I think I'm actually getting into my swing of this thing. Anyways, I hope everybody out there is doing okay. Things are probably kind of stressful for basically everybody. Which is part of why I hope I'm able to keep this up, as I have been for all these years. It helps relax me, and hopefully it can help relax you a little bit too. Or make you angry at how bad I am. So of note, in this version, unlike the arcade, where the little surrounding shield dudes will fly at you when you kill the main thing, if there are any left, everything just dies when you kill it in this version. And that applies to all the bosses that are like that. It's in fact way harder to actually shoot the things that aren't the main boss in this version. To the point that I'm actually not sure you can really do it. Now, there is one other boss that's missing. One of the stages had a super Dom, basically, robot as a boss that had a shield and took a bunch of shots. That does not exist in this version. I think that's just replaced with another swarm of robots. Which I believe is right here, actually. Japan and your loose idea of intellectual property theft back in the 80s. So, well, I never had much experience with Space Harrier due to my local arcade not having a Space Harrier machine. We did have Night Striker, which is why I'm very fond of that. I'm also better at that than I am at this. I could probably get as good at this if I actually sat down and practiced, but I'm not gonna. We all know I don't practice at anything, or do anything well, for that matter. We're over halfway there. We're getting there. Changed my recording settings a little bit on my NES emulator here, so hopefully it ends up looking okay. Probably should have done a test video beforehand, but again, we know that ain't my style. Just slap things out there. And this is another boss that's meant to be a whole bunch of these things all at once, but instead you get them one at a time, making this boss surprisingly trivial once you find the right spot. And don't mess it up. Also makes it take way longer than it really needs to. Can't believe I died to this thing enough to get a game over. This is also one that you can just kind of ignore entirely. We should be coming up soonish on our second bonus stage. I will also give this port credit for its music. The music is actually pretty good. All things considered. There is no auto-fire in this version. You gotta mash the button if you want to shoot fast. Which is a bit of a bother, but what are you gonna do? More robots. Oh, wow, I called it. We were right on top of our next bonus stage. Not that it matters, I'm sure you've noticed, but I'm losing all my points every time I have to continue, which is basically constantly. Hope you like robots, because here's some more. A whole lot to say. Trying to just, like, get into a zone where I'm not constantly dying. It's sort of working. Oh, right, these things. Another swarm boss where they come in like, twos. These guys fire pretty much endlessly, though, which if you don't get them quick, actually makes it kind of tricky to take them out. Here's our last tunnel stage. Due to the size of everything, you can kind of like stay in the middle and never be in danger of most of the stuff. Aside from occasional towers, I need to move left and right to get around, and the shots from the movie dances. Which, clearly are more threatening than I'm giving them credit for. If you want to kill the little, geometric shapes, you gotta play Space Harrier 2 and fight the one boss version. They're completely invincible here. They're also supposed to be rolling, but they're unanimated in the NES version. Welp. Did I get it? I got it at the same time I died. Go me. Alright, stage 15. This should be our robot stage again, I believe. No, I'm wrong. Well. Every now and then it looks kind of like I know what I'm doing, and then I immediately prove that that's not the case. No, actually, I think this might be the robot stage. I was thinking it was. I forgot that the other things are also here. Because I don't think they were in the arcade. I think it was strictly robots. Assuming I'm thinking of the right stage, that might be the next one. I guess we'll see what the boss is. If it's the carrier, then this was the robot stage. If it's not the carrier, I'm just incorrect. But they don't give you much in the way of mercy and invincibility, do they? Okay, no, I was just wrong. Here's our Skelly Dragon. I want to say his name is Volda? Squilla's corpse back for revenge. That means that this stage should have nothing but DOMs, and maybe some jets. And our good buddy, Stanley the Carrier. And more DOMs as the boss. I don't know why, but the DOMs are like super easy to kill in this version. Compared to the arcade, where they're one of the like most difficult enemies. I say as I immediately get a game over to them. If I remember right, poor Stanley's got a bit of a problem here, and that he drops all of his guys in the exact same spot, so you can just do this. Oop, I missed one. My strategy works just fine until you miss any one of them, and then you have to actually start doing stuff. Alright, this will be our next to last stage. My favorite dumb-named boss in probably just about any game. Died by touching a robot. Such is life. Anyways, here comes old Wee Wee Jumbo, who does spawn rocks at you, but in this version it's mostly the Koma Inus shooting fireballs at you that are the threat, and not the item spawn. Although if you kind of move around like this, they'll never actually catch up to you. Which makes him kinda easy. And stage 18 is our boss rush. For those of you familiar with the arcade version would know that we should be getting the boss names here, but we don't in this version. I don't know why. Those of you familiar with the Sega Master System port might also know that that version added an extra boss at the end. The old Hayao, the double fire dragons. It was retroactively added into more arcade perfect ports in the Sega Ages versions sometimes. Not every time, I think. It's in the Switch version, though. And he's super cool in the arcade. It's also pretty good in the Master System port. You might wonder why I'm bringing that up, considering we're playing neither of those things. Well, we'll get there eventually. These bosses are the hardest ones, honestly, in this version. Boy. Alright. I think once we kill the skeleton dragon, we should be done-ish. Boy, it chokes on this guy in Squilla. Got him. Oh, by the way, did I say we were done? I'm sorry. We got Hayao. We got the saddest version of Hayao that exists. What have they done to you, my man? You're supposed to be cool. You're not supposed to be this. Whoop. Yeah, it loves to die on Hayao. So, this might take a bit. Sometimes it even hard crashes all the way back to the title screen. Anyway, I have no idea if the actual cart did that, or if it's just the emulation, or what, but oh boy, would it not be cool to get all this way and then just have it die like that. With no recourse. Not that Hayao was a particularly compelling fight here. He's got me a couple of times, but this is definitely easy mode Hayao compared to any other version of him. He gets a little more difficult when you kill one of them, because it speeds up quite a bit at that point. The NES is struggling with both of them here. Also, man, he takes a lot of hits. The flickering does not make dodging the projectiles easy at all. Come on, man. There you go, now he's looking a little more alive, right? Also firing way more shots, which is unfortunately making the flickering worse somehow. Assuming I can actually manage to finish him off. Ugh. Got him. We don't get picked up by Arroyo, we just very abruptly get dumped to the end. And you push a button, we get this. So, that's all I've got for you today. The show will go on for the Obscure Game Theater, just at a very, very slow rate for the foreseeable future. And I suppose that's it. Later, guys.